Welcome back to STL TV Live. Chris Adkins, our resident techie, is back with the latest installment of our recurring segment, Tech Tidbits. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Sarah.
So what are we talking about today? You've always got something new and exciting for us.
Well, today it's more than just a gadget. When you think about technology, it's not uncommon to think about the gadgets and the flashy lights and all the neat stuff and the latest versions. But really, technology goes beyond that. In technology, what it should be to us is how does it improve the quality of life? And that's really what I want to talk about today. So there's a great website called meetup.com.
Okay.
And what Meetup is, it focuses on your local community. So you can find people who like doing things similar to what you do. So it's more of a personal level. And what it allows you to do is you can search for your area. You can put in St. Louis, and let's say you're really into needlecraft, or a needlepoint or knitting or whatever it might be. You can put in your interests, and it'll come back and say, these are the groups in your area who do these kind of things. So what you do is then you can apply to be a member of the group, and it's free to use Meetup. And once you get accepted in the group, there's a list of upcoming events, and you can look at the past events and what's occurred. And it allows you to get out and meet people beyond who you associate with on a daily basis.
Yeah, so it's like the old-fashioned book club in the neighborhood kind of thing, but now it's expanded, right? Because you can find people that maybe don't live in the neighborhood, people you don't know, who like the same things that you like.
Exactly, yeah, and it allows you to break down some of these barriers that may have been there in the past. One of the other great things about this is that, let's say you're new to an area, and it's like, well, you want to go out and do certain things, but you can't find people, or you don't know people in the area. This will allow you, it's great for transplants because you can get into an area and say, I really enjoy, snowshoeing, and there's nobody I know who does that. But you can find a meetup group that does that, and you can find people who do that.
And Meetup, it's worldwide, right?
Yes, I believe it is.
And so so you could even, if you're traveling, if you're going to be for a few days in a city, I guess you could actually go and look up a meetup group while in that city. Is that right? Yeah,
you could do that. There's actually been meetup groups in St. Louis that have gone out to Colorado to go hiking. And they've found people like
traveling groups.
There's traveling groups too. Yes,
wow.
there's all kinds of groups.
And I actually have a personal experience with Meetup. My niece came back from college. Came back to St. Louis, and all of her friends from high school had gone off and settled in other cities after college, and so she went to meetup.com and she met all these people. She joined book clubs, she joined professional networks, and she was busy every night of the week going to meetup.com events.
Sure, yeah, and I know people who their entire social life is all about these different meetup events.
Yeah.
They go through and Wednesday night I'm going to do this, and Thursday night I will do this, and Friday night this, and it really allows you to get out and expand your circle of friends.
Yeah.
And going into wintertime, I think it's important because it's easy to kind of get pigeonholed and say, I'm not going to go out tonight. I don't want to do certain things. The weather is changing and so forth.
Yeah.
So that's one of the benefits.
In the way this works, if I did actually, my niece encouraged me to sign up myself. So it was a couple years ago. I remember I put in my zip code, I think, or my neighborhood, and it gave me a list of interests.
Yes.
And you can just check box the ones that you're interested in.
Correct.
So do you remember what some of the different categories are?
Sure, it's really great because it's beyond just, so activity group is one thing, and that you can do that. There's also interest on political. Let's say you have a certain political interest and you want to meet people you can sit down and talk and have these conversations with. So you can do that. There's social groups. Maybe you're in 40s or 50s or 60s, and you want to get to meet people your age. There's social groups for that. There's social groups for people who want to meet other people who have, who don't have children. They want to go out and do things. There's a parent group or a grandparent group as well, and you want to get together and you want to take your grandkids to a park and other people.
So there'd be a meetup group to bring your grandchild along,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
Oh, that's so neat. It's really fun because you can find people with like interests, and the great thing is it's new people. We all, especially in our town here of St. Louis, we kind of get, we hang out with the same people all the time.
Right.
I know from my niece's experience that she just broadened her own horizons and met all these new people that she's still friends with now several years later after coming back to town.
Yeah, and it's really great. One of the other aspects, if you are a transplant, there's meetup groups for, if you're from a certain area or if you speak a certain language and you really want to connect with people from your homeland. This will allow you to do that.
Oh, that's cool too. Gosh, all these cool things.
Now, one thing I have to say though, I talked to a lot of people about Meetup because I thought it was just great. It allowed me to just really build a great network of new friends, not people I went to high school with or people I live with. But there's a lot of other people you can run into and meet. But when I talk to people about this, people say, well, isn't that a dating site? And it really isn't. And I think it's really important to stress that
Yeah.
meetup.com is not a dating site. Now, while there are dating groups within that,
Singles
it's
groups.
much, much more than that.
Yeah, I know lots of people who are not single, who are married, that are on it in different clubs of their interests.
And there's couples clubs and everything else.
Exactly. So, Chris, don't go away. We need to take a quick break, but stay here because we've got, we're going to meet the organizer of a social media meetup group who's in town. It's a group in our own town. He's going to be here in the studio next, so stay tuned.